best primitive that I think will help me out a little bit better. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick a cylinder, ex- uh, get the height and everything right on it. I'm gonna keep it at 18 because I don't really need it to be too high poly. Now I could have done it a different way. I could have made a sphere and kind of cut it off at the top and did it that way. But looking from the reference image, it is rounded. I can make that myself, so it's really not that serious. But I do recommend making stuff multiple ways. That can help you out a lot on trying to get that right look that you want to make. So I'm gonna add an edit poly to this. Now I can edit this primitive for all the new people that just came in the stream. So um, actually, I broke a rule, a really important rule. When you're modeling, if you can see that this z axis and this y axis, this x axis and this y axis, they're pointing in certain ways, right? I can change my access view to the local to it, right? And I can pull it up. Some people don't do it this way. Some people will model the image actually flat first. So they'll model the image at a 90-degree angle type of view. Um, you can use the local. Sometimes it's finicky and it doesn't want to act right. Um, but I'm gonna just try to work with it because I don't feel like going back. So I'm gonna bevel it at the top and I'm gonna shrink it probably to about right here. Now from here, I'm gonna use a technique that I talked about earlier with the Swift loop. I can use flow connect with within my loops as long as you're in edge. Let me get all Swift loop. Come on, Swift loop. I can use flow connect. Like if I selected some edges, hit flow connect, and it'll do that, right? Um, I mean that's cool, but I would have to select those edges and those edges. That just takes too long. I can achieve this the same thing by holding shift with the Swift loop and do it that way. So that way I edit detail and it's somewhat mathematically correct rather than having a sphere. And I'll show you what the sphere would look like if I had an 18-sided sphere right here, right? And I use the top of the only difference between this and this, if I was to take that up, cut it in half, extrude it down, do all that good business, is the middle. That's the only difference. Is the middle is triangle based. This one is really not. I can kind of get away with maybe putting a support edge right there and added in some turbo smooth techniques or whatever the case is. Um, but I'm pretty satisfied with this right here. I might change it. It's a little thick at the moment. Um, but I mean that's cool right there. Now I just wanted to look somewhat in the right place. It's not gonna follow that image correctly, but I wanted to look somewhat in the right place. Some companies now it's like a certain view, right? If I'm holding the shotgun and it's right here. Some companies, i.e., Infinity Ward, Treyarch, Sledgehammer, Battlefield sometimes, anything this view right here is bigger than what it's supposed to be on the actual gun because your eye is going to be focused on that piece. And I will show you in a second what I mean by that. So now I'm going to be in the process of trying to make this loop right here, that loop thing right here. It's fairly simple. I'm about to add in my grid now. Um, you can just use like a spline or something like that. You can try to use a line and do it that way. You can try to use maybe like a circle or end gun or something like that. Yeah, dude. This is what I went to school for, Tatsu. Yeah, bro. Hey, trust me. I done sat down at this computer many a times, bro. Many a times on some crazy like no sleep type, stayed up for 48 hours type stuff, dog. Um, so I'm gonna try to make that little piece right there. So I'm gonna use my spline tool, and now there's multiple ways I could have made that piece. All right, I'm gonna actually get rid of that one. And now being, you know, oh, chill, chill. um, being a noob, right? And let's say if I was like a noob in the game, and I'm still basically am a noob. I don't know everything, and I'm still learning. I scour the internet for videos and images and stuff. Uh, being a noob and trying to make that piece right here, yeah, I would have did it the hard way. Like I don't even know how personally I would have did it. Like I would have honestly made up some story that like it fell off in combat, and then told my teacher that, and he would have took off points because I couldn't make that piece. Um, there's always a way to make a piece. There's always a way. You just have to search for it. And, like you got to use the tools that you have. And a tool that came in to Max a couple of years ago is the spline tool. Now the spline tool has a option to render, right? And you can render it, but because it's basically a modifier, but it's not. I can add, and which I think is like really cool about this engine, is I can add like a sphere effect, right? From here, I can edit the let me see if I can make it clear. I can edit the actual vertices, right? So if I wanted to put it now, I can do this multiple ways, and I really want to try to explain this. So I'm gonna copy this over because there is a right way to do certain stuff, and then of course there's a wrong way, which will make you waste your time. So if you get what I'm saying, that first spline right there is right here, but it's rendering a cylinder. So because the edge right there is hard, it's gonna have a hard transition right there. That's fine. I can take care of that transition. I can add in an edit spline and then go to my vertices, click on that joint, click on this one, or select it, not click on it. Now I can go to chamfer. Uh, Fillet can do it a certain way too, but I'm gonna do it through here. I just acted weird. So now I can chamfer it, right? I can chamfer it once. It's not gonna really do it how I wanted to do it, so I'm gonna chamfer it again. The only problem with the first chamfer, and that joint got deselected, is that it has to be big enough to support the second chamfer. So the edges are going to be off. So the first chamfer, like I said, has to be big enough to support the second chamfer in order to get it rounded enough. And it got deselected again, dude. Really? I know this might be cool. I might can get away with it. Um, I don't know. I might have to edit it some. I might can I might can like bring that up a little bit. Uh, actually, I can probably like bring it down. Maybe give it. Yeah, I think I can get away with this. Now, I could probably leave it right here. Maybe add on like a turbo smooth, not turbo smooth. Make sure I add a material to it. Add on the edit poly to this, so that I can put a edge right here. Edge that one out. Edge that one out. Um, just put one edge right there. These right here, I'm not gonna need what? I don't know what happened right there, but we're gonna just delete those. Add a turbo smooth modifier on that one. It ain't do what I wanted it to do because, I'm gonna tell you why. I might not be able to work. Yeah, I can't really work in that stack. So a lot of people when they're modeling, they have an issue when you work beneath a certain stack, right? So Max tends to tell you, and it's at your own risk. Now I can save this right now because it just told me that if I work below the edit poly stack, that I could be messing up something and it can possibly um, crash or whatever. Um, so I'm gonna just click no. Another way to get around this, which a lot of people don't really know, is that I can copy this actual modifier. I can copy the modifier, delete it, which will delete those those edges that I put within that modifier, right? So I'm gonna just delete that for now. Um, and I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna try to redefine it a little bit better. Bro, that's some serious like I don't even know what you said. Um, if I move it too much, then it's gonna be at this point. I gotta try to angle it to where it's not. I don't want it to add more edges like that right there. I don't want it to do that. Um, so now I'm gonna paste back that edit poly, which is gonna put them edges back right there. So I don't have to go back and redo everything. I'm a I'm a actually control delete this edge out and add in some supporting edges right there. So I can keep that curvy um, without it spreading too much. No, this. I mean, yeah, it's a shotgun, but it's like a different one. Uh, I, I'm actually trying to make it better. So with me doing that, I can probably add up more iterations to it. I can keep it. I can say this is what I want to do. Um, I can. I wait. I believe I can copy all of these, delete them, and paste them back on. Yeah. All right. So let's say, and I'm basically doing the same technique as I said before, the whole copy, and you trying to edit something, then putting it back on. let's say if I wanted to make it thicker, um,